Greetings one and all, welcome back to the kitchen here today. How you all going? So I'm going to be making today Seekh Kebabs, so yummy, spicy, sort of Middle Eastern subcontinent sort of spicy minced meat basically. And the basis, you can use any sort of minced meat, but I'm going to be using minced lamb today, and I've got about half a kg here as the base for this dish. I'm just going to put that aside for a minute. First thing I'm going to do, so I've got my little mini processor here, and I've just cut into quarters. So I've actually got 2 onions here because they're quite small, but if you've got a large onion, just use 1 large onion. And what I'm going to do with that is basically blitz it or process it up, and once it's processed up, I'm going to put it into a clean cloth and squeeze all the juice out of it. Need to turn the PowerPoint on. And plug it in. Good. I changed my setup here. I've got this little spice grinder thing, and I had it all ready to go. Anyway, enough of that triviality. Alrighty guys, I've finished pulsing that onion up and getting a fair bit of that liquid out of it, squeezing it out, and a fair bit comes out of it, so it's worth doing. So what I've got in here is just some coriander seeds, and that was about 4 teaspoons whole coriander seeds, and about 3 teaspoons of cumin seeds whole that I've just roasted on the stovetop over here. And now I've got them in this little grinder thing which I just bought. It was on special. It's actually a coffee grinder, so we'll see if it works. It was very, very inexpensive, so I don't know, see if you pay if you get what you pay for. That seems to be working good. That's awesome. Alright, $14. And that smells awesome. So, alright, let's get on with it. So what I've got there is that mince I showed you earlier. So that's my 500 grams of mince. Let's tip these ground spices in. Oh, gee, that smells good. Absolutely worth doing that, especially when you can get save them to grind it up by hand. Alright, so that's that. I'm also going to add some ground cayenne. Whoops. Some ground cayenne pepper. And probably just do that to taste. Probably a teaspoon or so. How much is in there? Maybe 2 teaspoons. Just do it to taste. I'm doing 1 spicy, obviously. So that's about 2 teaspoons, but yeah, 1's plenty probably, or even half, depending. Alright. So I'll just grab my onion that I've squeezed all the juice out of. You can see here now it's quite so that can go in. Well, all the juice. I don't think all the juice is gone, but quite a bit of it. Get it all in. Don't waste it. Now, over here, I've got about 6 cloves of garlic that I've just grated. I've got a medium-sized knob of ginger that I've grated. I've got the zest of 1 small lime. I'm going to put that in. And yeah, I've just got some mint leaves. So yeah, I just grabbed a big handful of the leaves, and I've chopped them up reasonably finely, or just till I got sick of chopping it, really. That can go in. And that's going to be the basis for our Seekh Kebabs. And I'll start with a fork, but as per usual I'll probably have to get in and use my hands, my clean hands eventually, just to get it thoroughly mixed up, but I'll get on with that. And it needs a really good mixing. Make sure all that spice gets thoroughly mixed through, and onion and everything. So I'll get on with that and I'll get back to you. Alrighty, so yeah, I've thoroughly mixed up that lamb mince now. Now what I was sort of I didn't quite sort of explain before, like, yeah, I talked about using my hands, but I was using the fork first. This is actually a good one to use the fork a fair bit of the time, because what you're actually doing is sort of breaking up the structure of that lamb by sort of doing that sort of motion, like flipping it. And for this dish, that's actually a good thing. Sort of break down the structure of the meat a bit more. It's not always the case, but yeah, it's good for these kebabs. In fact, some people, you know, some recipes, they call for actually processing the mince to really break it down, but I don't think you need to go that far. But yeah, if you've given it a good thorough mixing with a fork like that, as you can see, it sort of is breaking down like that anyway. Alright, so it's thoroughly mixed up. So I've got some metal skewers here, and all we're going to do is try and fashion the best we can, sort of longer sort of sausage shapes. So obviously just get a handful of our mince, thoroughly clean hands, form it into a bit of a shape to start with, get it on our skewer, try and get it sort of through the middle, and yeah, just sort of work it outwards and towards the end a bit. Like I say, these ones are a bit thinner than, say, you'd do a kofta. And the main thing is you're trying to get an even sort of thickness all the way along, so that it cooks nice and even. You can give it a bit of a roll. Like, you don't have to be absolutely pedantic about it, but as long as it's reasonably sort of shaped like so, I'm sort of starting to get pretty happy with that. I'll just get that on my tray, and I'll just give it a little light brush. Some oil. Today I'm just going to be cooking this exclusively under the griller or broiler. Probably only for around 20 minutes or so, maybe half an hour, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'll get on with the rest of these and I'll get back to you. So I've got my Seekh Kebabs, yeah, all rolled up here, and yeah, brushed a bit of oil on them. Now, it's a really hot day here today, so what I'm going to do with these before I cook them is just put them in the fridge, just let them firm up a little bit, just for maybe 3/4 of an hour to an hour. It's probably best practice to do that anyway, regardless of the weather, but it's particularly hot here today. It's a stinker. I'm not actually looking forward to turning the grill on inside, but you've got to do what you've got to do when you want to eat nice food. Alrighty, I'll get back to you in about an hour probably. Alrighty guys, so I've got my Seekh Kebabs here, cooked, or looking good. Smells in here are absolutely gorgeous, so I might just cut one open. It's still piping hot off that grill. We'll just have a look, make sure she's cooked. Oh yeah, that's looking good. So that's what a piece looks like, cooked and cut. So generally speaking, that's how they'd serve them, sort of sliced up on a plate, maybe as part of a platter with you know, some tandoori stuff. But without further ado, I actually want to taste it. So I've got some lime wedges here. I'll just put a little bit of lime and just a bit of I made a yogurt rater with some mint and some garlic and a bit of lime juice. So I'm going to put a bit of that on too, like so. Taste her up. Oh, yum. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Man, that is so good. You've got to try these. Oh, yum. That is so good. There's a bit of spice. I put a fair bit of cayenne pepper in mine, but I love it like that. It's yummy. If you like spicy, yeah, definitely go with the two. It's just giving a nice little kick to the meat, and you've got that yogurt rater to cool things down, and then with the sharp bite of the lime juice, it's just, for me, that's perfection. But anyway, that's me. So I'm going to sit down and finish the rest of these. Thanks for watching, guys, as always. Thanks to those who subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, just think about hitting that subscribe button. It's free. It's good incentive for me. I see a new subscriber click over. It's doesn't happen too often. It's happening, but yeah, just regularly enough to keep me yeah, to get that feel good sort of feeling. Alright, guys, I'll see you all next time.